Alright, another rare video by Malachi here. This one concerns Ford F1, F2, and F3, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyway, when trying to do the trim right here and remount these, now I'm putting mine on crusty old metal, I don't care, but say you want it to be nice. Now, unfortunately, some of mine had screws holding them in, wire tied to the hood and all that, and they're junk. So I picked up an extra set off of eBay. However, getting these clips was a little harder, or getting the correct ones. There's not much left of these things. There's a couple of them that are broke. That's about it. So what I did was bought these. These are meant for a 1/2 inch slot, except for they just don't work. They're not going to fit in there. So I took the shear, cut a 5/8 inch strip, marked my holes, drilled with a 1/4 inch drill bit, and then you just pop these things in. If I can get this in here without doing it one-handed. There's that. And presume I just put in all four that same way. And you can slide that right through there, and it will stabilize them. And once this thing is locked in place, the spring tension on there pulls it tight. And I just did this top one, and this thing it wiggles because the springs move, but it ain't going anywhere. I still got to do this one. I got to get this old screw out of here and whatnot. Ignore this beauty. It's my truck. I'll do what the fuck I want. And these you can buy. If somebody wants to know, you can go to a set of 15 of them for $8 to that webpage. They listed them anyway. They look something like this, except for with the double triangular diamond piece. This one's half of the vertical piece is broken off. Or you can go to Mack Trucks. The top number there should be correct. I believe the small one is for these, possibly, or it's the wrong size and you got to make your little adapters like I did. Whatever you do, that's up to you. But in case anybody else wants to know what the hell's going on here, I'm making a cartoon. This is keep in mind, yes, those are 10 lug wheels, so it gives you a perspective of how big we're talking. 10 lug dualies, so those are 16-inch rims compared to those. Those are stretched cement truck wheels, so they're meant to go on 12-inch wide rims. Those are 14-inch wide super single rims meant for a semi. These are bigger than semi wheels. Yeah, there's a pair of them, so that's what I'm doing there. I still have to notch my frame, but that's another big deal. This thing's been left out in the rain to rust up a little bit. Yes, we have a fuel tank that, yes, sticks out quite a ways past the tires. I don't know how safe this is. Hopefully National Highway Safety Transportation Administration doesn't get down on me. So I took a plasma cutter, cut the bottom of the tank, and we're gonna plate the bottom and have about 6 inches of ground clearance. We're dealing with, next part of this thing is radiator fan, radiators and whatnot. Your original, in this case I'm using a 7.3 Power Stroke. You use whatever the fuck makes you happy. You can buy on eBay a 28-inch wide radiator that drops straight down in there, 19 inches deep. It's the biggest one I could find that was 3 inches thick. That's what's in that box right there, brand new. Other issues, brake booster. This big old chunky can here is way too massive. So instead I've opted to go with Hydro Boost. It'll work. The only drawback is two things. Number one, their shaft is about an inch and a half too long compared to the original that's correct for this engine setup and the brake pedal assembly that I have. But the Hydro Boost is narrower and fits underneath my hood, so yay. The other part is these have to be narrowed in a little bit to fit the brake pedal assembly. I haven't really been doing videos on my truck builds and vehicle builds because whatever. This is my bird shit welding. No judgments, please. Had to fabricate a floor pan, firewall, and all that stuff. So this I can't really widen, but the other one I can narrow. So hopefully it's all gonna work. Lots of parts here for things that look like a bunch of junk. I've got a whole bunch of these damn things for the hood. Yeah, and it's a rusty crusty motherfucker. Rear end is a Dana 60 out of a single rear wheel ambulance, but it had giant dual piston disc brake calipers. Okay, so I wanted those. I wanted disc brakes for the rear of this thing, so I got them, but I couldn't run regular dually wheels, and every other wheel combination I couldn't find wouldn't work. So I decided semi wheels. Well, if you're gonna do semi wheels, go fucking big, baby. No hesitation here. So next part of this is debating whether or not I'm going to lower the rear end by going under or an arch over. Plus it has to be C-channeled anyway, or some kind of, it had to be that anyway because there's no clearance here. I think I'm going to need more than half an inch of clearance. So if I flip this spring or do anything like that, that'll work, except it just exacerbates that issue. So no matter what, I have to go under or over this frame. And as there's going to be some other stuff up here that's already planned out in a future video, you'll see. We'll see. Front end is an F Super Duty. It's a solid axle front end. Instead of, so it's on leaf springs on the front and whatnot. The frame actually comes all the way through my grill, just about here. I gotta work it. The front clip has to be moved over just a hair, just to be centered on the frame, but that's not a big deal. No, I'm not fixing this. Oh yeah, bit by bit, piece by piece. Oh, here's what those original clips look like. If you can buy those, but you can buy these. You just can't seem to buy these ones. And you'll see the 4 holes here. Those are 1/4 inch holes. Just put your template, or put your thin little strip of metal in here and mark your holes. Drill the hole down the center of it, and it should work just fine. As you can see, this one's also wire tied on here because previous people were taking care of their truck. Hope somebody learned something from any of this bullshit here. Peace out, bitches.